Alright guys, so here's everyone's favorite. This is going to be the applications or word problems of these, okay? So let's take a look here. It says, a store owner buys a case of eggs for $21.60. The owner regains this investment by selling all but 6 dozen of the eggs at a profit of 30 cents per dozen. Many dozen eggs, or how many dozen eggs has the owner sold, and what is the selling price per dozen? Alright, so number of eggs sold is X. Number of eggs bought is the number sold plus the 6 dozen. The selling price per dozen, well, that was $21.60 divided by X. And this one is $21.60 divided by X plus 6. And profit per dozen is 30 cents. Alright, so we have $21.60. So selling price equals cost plus profit. So selling price was $21.60 divided by X. That equals the $21.60 divided by the X plus 6 plus the 30 cents. Okay? So now what do we need to do? Get the common denominator. So this one, I would have to multiply by X plus 6, X plus 6. This one I'd have to multiply by X, and this one I'd have to multiply by both. So I'm going to make it X squared plus 6X. And then the denominator is the same, so we can get rid of it. So distribute these out, so you have 2160X plus 129.60 equals 2160X plus, so we have the 0.3x squared plus 1.8x. So first thing I'm going to do, subtract the 2160x. So those go away. I'm going to subtract this over. So now I have 0 equals 0.3x squared plus 1.8x minus 129.6. I'm going to multiply everything by 10 to get rid of the decimals to make this a little easier maybe. So you get 0 equals 3x squared plus 18x plus 1,296. Okay? Gotta keep going. We can divide everything by 3. So you get 0 equals x squared plus 6x plus 432. So we can either try to factor or we can do quadratic formula. This should be I just forgot to carry it down. This should be a minus 432. And then if we go to factor, you would get x plus 24 and x minus 18. You can't have a negative number, so you get x equals 18 dozen eggs that you sold. Were they asking for anything else? Let's go back. It says how many dozen eggs were the owner sold, and what is the selling price per dozen? So there's the how many dozen were sold. So then if we end up selling them all, you have the 2160 that we made back plus all 24 dozen that you'd sell, because 18 plus 6 times the 30 cents. If you do that, you'd get $28.80. Okay? So if we did $28.80 for all 24 dozen to find the price per dozen, you divide that by the 24, so you get $1.20 for each dozen. Let's take a look at another one. Alright, we're going to give you some information here. The width is W and the length is 2.5 times W. And we have 250 feet squared of the area. So if we do this, we just say 250 equals W times 2.5 W. So you get 250 equals 2.5 W squared. Divide by the 2.5. What do you get? 100. So you get 100 equals W squared. So the width is 10. Did they give us a measurement? Feet. So then we can say the perimeter is 2 times the width plus 2 times the length, which would be 20 plus 50, so 70 feet. Alright, let's take a look at another one. Alright, so it says a family is adding on the size of their lot of land. The width of the new lot will not change from the old. The length will increase by 20 feet. The area of the new lot will be 25,500 square feet. Find the dimensions of the new rectangular lot. Okay, so the old lot was a square because the length and the width were the same. But the new one is going to be W, and then this is going to be W plus 20 because they're adding 20 feet. The area was 25,500. So now we say 25,500 equals W times W plus 20. So then you get 25,500 equals W squared plus 20W. So 0 equals W squared plus 20W minus 25,500. So we can try to factor, or you can use quadratic formula. Factors into W minus 150, W plus 170, so we know that's not going to be it. So the width is 150 feet. And then the length is going to be 170 feet because it's that plus 20. So let's keep going. Alright, so this one here says the amount after 2 years in account earning R percent in decimal form compounded annually given by A equals P 1 plus R squared, where P is the original investment. Given the information below, find the interest rate. So we're going to be looking for the R. So the amount was $280.90. The principal was $250. We have 1 plus R squared. So divide by the 250. So you get 280.9 divided by 250. You get 1.1236 equals 1 plus R squared. So now we square root. So you get 1 plus R equals 1.06, subtract the 1. You get R equals 0.06. So, but they want it as a rate or as a percent, so you got to multiply that by 100. So the rate is 6%. Okay. Let's take a look at another one. It says a science club charters a bus to attend a science fair at a cost of $480. To lower the bus fare per person, the club invites non-members to go along. When 2 non-members join the trip, the fare per person is decreased by 1. How many people are going to the science fair? Okay, so cost times the number equals total. Background information given is unknown. So we have X members, and then there's members plus 2 going. So the cost per member originally was 480 divided by X. The cost for the group, though, is 480 divided by X plus 2. So the equation we have to solve here is the 480 divided by X minus $1 times the 2 members equaled the $480. So the first thing we're going to do here, distribute this out. So if we do X times 480 divided by X, you get 480 minus X plus 960 over X minus 2 equals 480. Now we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by X. So you get 480X minus X squared plus 960 minus 2X equals 480X. Let's get it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract the 480. So you get negative X squared minus 2X plus 960 equals 0. Divide everything by negative 1. I like to make it positive. So now we got to either use quadratic formula or factor and solve. If you factor it, it would be X minus 30, X plus 32 equals 0. So you get rid of that. So you get X equals $30 per person. Okay? Let's take a look at one more. Alright. It says a rocket is launched from the cliff that is 169 feet off the ground. The flight of the rocket is given by the equation h equals h naught minus 16t squared. How long will it take the rocket to reach the ground? So we basically need to solve this. So I'm going to subtract the 169 over, divide by negative 16, and since we're not done yet, I'm just going to leave it as the fraction. Square root. We're looking for time, so I can't have a negative, so I don't have to worry about the plus or minus. If we square root that, you get 3.25 seconds. Yep, in seconds. Alright guys, hopefully these will help do some of the problems.